morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Chuck Bain, and I have the distinct pleasure and honor of serving as the director of the Law Enforcement Academy and also to serve as your MC for today's ceremony. Just as an advisement for everyone that we are recording today's ceremony, it's going to be posted on our website and it's going to be streamed live for those people that could not join us here in person today. I do need to make one addition to your program that for a variety of reasons this week has been rather hectic, and we had to make some last-minute changes to the program for some people that could not be here, and we inadvertently left a student's name off of the roster. So we'll get that corrected and get an appropriate one in the student's hands by the end of the ceremony. But I just want to recognize Tyler Murphy from Fremont County Sheriff's Office. Yes, Tyler, you get to graduate. Unless something happens in the next hour. We apologize to Tyler and his family and agency for doing that, and we'll get those things corrected as soon as we can. So, speaking of that announcement, the number that you see on the program, 24A106, does have some meaning, at least to us. 24 obviously is the year. A indicates it's the first Detention Officer Basic Course of 2024, and 106 denotes that it's the 106th graduating Detention Officer Basic class from the Academy. Our ceremony is steeped in history and tradition. Veteran detention officers who began their careers in Wyoming and graduated from our academy have shared the same sense of accomplishment and perhaps even relief today's graduates feel. Detention Officer Basic Training graduation marks a time of transition for these officers as they begin their careers in detention. This transition takes them from being an individual contributor to a public servant with a focus on others. This transition process is difficult. These graduates have every right to be proud of their hard work and accomplishments necessary to complete this basic course. But this ceremony is not just about the graduates. It is also an expression of thanks to their families and administrators who have supported them during their absence. Because of that, we welcome audience participation in today's ceremonies with yells and cheers as we celebrate the success of these students. It is more than appropriate to share in the overwhelming pride, honor, and joy felt within this room today. With that, audience, would you please stand and welcome Detention Officer Basic Class 24A106. Class, please come forward. Audience, I'd ask you to please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance and our invocation. The class has selected their classmates who are military veterans to lead us in the pledge. Veterans? We are pleased to have Tim Ricker, a member and past president of the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association, with us to deliver today's invocation. Chaplain Ricker.
Please bow in prayer. Heavenly Father, I come to you with thanksgiving for life and your blessings today to all of us here and at home. First of all, I ask for your comfort for those who are grieving this morning in the death of a beloved son, husband, father, friend, and fellow officer. I know that you care deeply for each one of them, and you are able to help them through the dark days ahead if they will call upon you for strength and guidance. I thank you for the graduates standing here in this academy this morning and for their commitment to the high calling of law enforcement. I pray for them as they leave here and return to their respective communities and ask for your protection over them and your guidance each day. I pray for them and ask that you fulfill their lives with the satisfaction of knowing they're doing their best to serve their fellow man. I pray also for their families and thank you for their sacrifices they have made on their behalf and their love for them. Please be with each of them in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead and be their source of strength. Thank thee also for this Institute of Law Enforcement Training, for those who instruct here and labor here and keep all of this working for the benefit of our society. Please bless each one of them and reward them for their willingness to be involved with each one who attends here and go home to their families and communities. This has a tremendous impact on our lives. For that I am grateful. And last, Father, I ask for your protection and guidance over America and our allies. I pray that you keep us from evil and lead us into life everlasting through Jesus Christ, my Savior. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. I wanted to wait until our graduating class and students had been seated, but as Chaplain Ricker had made mention, we had a tragic event that took place 3 days ago in Sheridan. And many of you already know that Sergeant Nevada Krinke of the Sheridan Police Department was shot and killed in the line of duty. I can remember that it was only 6 short years ago that Nevada walked in this very gymnasium to receive his certificate. It is in honor of Sergeant Krinkley that we wear our mourning badge across our badges today, and I would ask you to please join me in a moment of silence to honor this fallen officer. Thank you. At this time, please allow me a moment to introduce a few of the people that are sitting before you today. Immediately to my right is Tim Ricker, whom you've already met. Next to him is Chris Walsh. He is the Executive Director of the Wyoming Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. Next to him is Jesse Curtis, our Deputy Director, and following up the lead is Kurt Taboga, our Training Manager. No organization can or would be successful without support from behind the scenes, and our academy is no exception to that rule. Staff members make this basic training possible and highly effective. As I speak, 3 of our most vital service sections remain at work elsewhere in our facility. It is their collective efforts that contribute to and ensure the quality of today's ceremonies. And these sections include our food service, custodial, and our maintenance staff. Even though they cannot be in attendance today, please offer them a round of applause for their hard work and dedication. Our office section is known for its dedication and efficiency. Without them, we could never accomplish our mission. Please help me recognize their efforts. Office staff in attendance, please stand and be recognized. Our instructional staff is the last section and part of our today's ceremony. Now, whatever you may have heard about this group, I know their pride, enthusiasm, and dedication to the students they train is second to none. They instruct a wide variety of subjects and serve as team leaders, coaches, coordinators. Instructional staff, please stand and be recognized. At this point in the ceremony, I would ask that those county sheriffs attending ceremony today to please stand and be recognized. It is not easy for these administrators to clear busy schedules to attend their deputies' graduations personally. Thank you, sheriffs, for the support of your students and your continued support of the Academy. Finally, I would like to recognize the department's command staff, middle managers, first-line supervisors, and law enforcement coworkers in our audience today. Anyone representing a law enforcement agency, please stand. Traditionally, at each graduation, a keynote speaker, who is usually a government, law enforcement, judiciary, or literature leader, to give some remarks during the ceremony. The keynote for today's graduation was scheduled to be Sheriff Levi Dominguez from Sheridan County. As you can imagine, he has been highly involved in the past days of activity, leading his agency through this tragic event. Sheriff Dominguez contacted me yesterday to express his deep regret that he could not attend today's ceremony, not only for the obvious logistical reasons, but also admittedly for the emotional toll that this has taken. I told the sheriff, and we completely understood and assured him of our thoughts and prayers during this time. So in place of the keynote, let me just take a few minutes to share some details about the course this group of students just committed. The Wyoming Detention Officer Basic Course is now 310 hours, completed over 7 weeks. The course covers 855 trainee objectives in 91 separate topics based on a job task analysis that outlines specific tasks completed by Wyoming detention officers and identify those tasks that must be learned during basic training. Those 91 topics are broken into 5 competencies that includes things like criminal and detention law, interpersonal interactions, professional skills, jail operation skills, and investigative skills. The topics also include basic law and the Constitution, police use of force, interpersonal conflict management, ethics, critical thinking and firearms, court security, inmate supervision, custody control, and emergency procedures, just to name a few. Now, this class is the first to complete that new 310-hour course, which increased in 2024. They also utilize a new learning management system and content structure for independent learning that is now part of basic training. And as part of the course, the students must take and pass 7 written examinations, including a final cumulative exam with questions that represent topics that were presented throughout the course. Yesterday, I was given the results of the final cumulative exam scores, and I thought I would share them with you. First of all, everybody passed. Second, the average score on this cumulative exam was 91.99%. The lowest score was an 81, and one student in this class scored 100%. This, to date, is the highest average score on the final exam that's been done here at the Academy. This group has set the bar high for subsequent classes. Please join me in recognizing this amazing accomplishment by these groups. But we have more students to recognize who achieved distinction in our basic course. With that, I invite Instructor Robert Lang. Please come forward to present the Physical Fitness Award.
Thank you, Director. During basic training, the students participate in 26 hours of physical fitness. This includes aerobic, anaerobic, core, and strength training, nutrition, and the importance of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. The students are tested physically from the moment they arrive, day 1 starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, until their final PT assessment that was just on Monday. Each assessment includes their maximum number of push-ups, sit-ups in 1 minute, as well as their time for a 1.5 mile run. The top PT award goes to the student who has the highest cumulative percentile score during the final PT assessment based on age and gender. The Physical Fitness Award winner completed the following: 56 sit-ups in 60 seconds, 75 push-ups in 60 seconds, and the 1.5 mile run in 11 minutes and 43 seconds. The Physical Fitness Award for Detention Officer Basic 24A 106 goes to Deputy Brian Gardner from the Teton County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Rippey, would you please come forward to give recognitions to those that excelled in firearms?
Thank you, Mr. Lang. To prepare for final proficiency scores, Detention Officer Basic students shoot approximately 1,000 handgun rounds at distances of 3 to 15 yards. In order for a student to achieve certification, they must shoot a minimum proficiency score of 80% with their handgun. The WLEA Top Gun Award is given in recognition of an individual's outstanding performance and dedication to firearms excellence. The top shooter in this class shot 99% with their handgun. The WLEA Top Gun Award for Detention Officer Basic 24A 106 goes to Deputy Michael Worley from the Uintah County Sheriff's Office. Mr. Wong, would you please come forward to give recognition to those who excelled in academics?
Thank you, Mr. Rippey. The students are tested continuously as they progress through their basic training. They must meet established minimum requirements in order to receive their certificate of successful completion. Specifically, they must pass those 7 examinations Director Bain was talking about, worth a total of 1,339 points. The top academic award goes to that student who achieved the highest academic cumulative average throughout Detention Officer Basic. The top academic student in this class had an average of 97.83% over the course of their basic training. Out of 1,339 total points possible, this officer scored 1,309.98. Also got 100P on his cumulative exam. Deputy Kyler Schmidt from the Park County Sheriff's Office. Each class elects a spokesperson to represent their class at graduation, to share their collective thoughts and their experiences from training. Classes may also choose to complete a class project. At this time, I'd like to invite Deputy Samuel Warren from the Carbon County Sheriff's Office and Project Coordinator Deputy Susan White from the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office. Please come up.
Families, friends, and administrators, and distinguished guests, again, welcome. As stated, I'm Deputy Samuel Warren from the Carbon County Sheriff's Office, and it's an honor to stand before you and speak on behalf of my fellow classmates, even if it's only due to how poor I am at rock, paper, scissors. At this time, I'd like to introduce Deputy White to speak about our class project that we have donated.
Hi, I'm Deputy White. On behalf of the DOB class, I would like to present the Wyoming Law Enforcement Academy with this weight sled over there. We recognize that physical fitness and a healthy lifestyle are imperative in our profession. We hope that future and returning students can benefit from this equipment. Thank you.
The main point is that our instructors have told us is that this is the start of our careers. Your career will be what you make of it. If you settle for minimal, you will receive minimal. It has been a long and hard journey, but a journey that has been well worth it. First and foremost, we must thank our families and friends and colleagues that have supported us through this journey. The late night messages and phone calls, the brief messages between classes, that's what kept us going and pushing harder towards our goals and ambitions. Your love and support is second to none, and even if it's not shown, it's very much appreciated. The bond that this class has had from day one has been one full of laughs, frustration, and competitiveness. As it was earlier mentioned, our first day began with push-ups, sit-ups, and a 1.5 mile run, which was done at the horse barn, which I'm pretty sure most of us are still coughing up the dust. About 2 hours later, our class size became smaller, though all of us had hoped everyone would make it. Unfortunately, this was not the case. The men and women seated before you for the past 7 weeks have been putting their blood, sweat, and tears into accomplishing a feat to some that is not so easy. Through the physical and mental trials, this class helped push one another along, making sure that none of us were left behind. This class is full of leaders in every way, shape, and form. Everyone found new strengths and confidences, and even if we never thought we'd find them, we did. Every morning we'd start our day off by beating the crap out of each other. I mean, custody and control. One key thing we learned from Instructor Wong was how to clap all at once and all together. It took 3 weeks. In class, we learned how to apply pressure, work smarter, and not jujitsu harder. We learned multiple maneuvers, techniques, and pressure applications. When it came to putting them to use, I still think some of those smacks to the head had some malicious and intentional, unusual intent. Then there was the 4 to 5 hooligans that were constantly getting the look from Wong, and he would have to remind us that we needed to slow down and go gentle or bring dishonor. Everyone's favorite was more than likely firearms, the competition trying to beat one another or just be better than you were the day before. The willingness to help one another and push one another, just like in custody and control. Every day was a new day, and you always wanted to be better and strive to be the best of your abilities. As Instructor Steele said, don't throw the bullet, just tap it in. This last week we had emergency vehicle operations, and after watching some of us drive that course, I'm glad I have good insurance and airbags. The main point that our instructors have told us is that, again, this is the start of our career. It's going to be what we make of it. If you settle for minimal, you're going to receive minimal. If you strive to be better every day and take on the challenges that are not easy, the reward is going to be greater, as will the outcome. Take the extra training to better yourself. Invest in yourself and your future. You've made it this far. Don't stop now. And as our instructors keep telling us, don't do dumb shit. Thank you.
Thank you, class, for your thoughtful class project. Thank you, Deputy Warren, for your remarks on behalf of your class. Now let's move to our final award. In every class, there is a student who is willing to distinguish themselves by exemplary work and effort. They strive to become the best of the best within their class and their profession. As a form of recognition for the one student who continually performs to the best of their ability, the Academy has established the Honor Graduate Award. Mr. Teboga and Mr. Smith, would you please come forward to give recognition to those students who have been nominated and then present the Honor Graduate Award.
Thank you, Director Bain. The Honor Graduate Award is the highest honor the Academy presents to a student graduating from a Wyoming Law Enforcement Basic Course. In order to be eligible to receive this award, a student must be nominated by a member of the instructional staff. It is not a popularity contest. It is an honor to be nominated. Once the officer is nominated, a very comprehensive and objective point system is used to assess the nominee's performance while attending the basic. The specific areas evaluated are the student's academic scores, proficiency in firearms, custody control, and physical fitness. In addition, the students are assessed in the following 6 areas of professional citizenship: effort, leadership, cooperation, initiative, attitude, and improvement. In alphabetical order, will the following officers please come forward and receive your merit award in recognition of your nomination? From Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Caden Diamond. From Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Dylan Lookingbill. From Park County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Kyler Schmidt. And from Uinta County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Michael Worley. The Honor Graduate Award recognizes the one student in each basic class who exemplifies all the attributes of a professional detention officer and who performed exceptionally in all phases of training. In addition to receiving today's plaque, and with the intent to encourage the recipient beyond today's recognition, the Honor Graduate will receive a $500 scholarship for any advanced training offered here at the WLEA. It is a long-standing tradition that the audience stand while the Honor Grad Award is presented. So, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honor Grad Award for Detention Officer Basic 24A 106 goes to Deputy Kyler Schmidt from Park County Sheriff's Office. Please be seated. At this time, we will award the graduation certificates. Mr. Curtis.
The staff here at WLEA congratulate you, Detention Officer Basic 24A 106, for completing your basic training. We started this journey just a few short weeks ago, and today we have arrived. On behalf of the class and the Academy staff, we would like to thank the many Wyoming law enforcement agencies and associations across the state who partner with us to provide the best possible training so that these new officers have what they need to do their jobs competently, reasonably, and safely. The Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, the Wyoming Peace Officers Association, the Wyoming Law Enforcement Chaplains Association, and the Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission are a few of the many who regularly devote expertise, financial assistance, and manpower to assist us in accomplishing our mission. We thank you. The Academy would also like to recognize the families of these men and women who themselves willingly sacrifice in many unseen ways so that their loved one can protect their community. These officers cannot do what they do without you. We know you've taken care of things these last several weeks so that your loved one could be here and study their craft. The Academy thanks you for your sacrifice, and we appreciate you. Detention Officer Basic 24A 106, you have spent the last several weeks constantly engaged in activities that force you to learn, apply, creatively adapt the basic information, principles, and tactics of a law enforcement detention professional and achieve functional outcomes. At the same time, we immerse you in a culture that demands initiative, resolve, accountability, and integrity, which is the same environment you're now returning to. You are here today because you've demonstrated a basic level of functionality in the five core competencies that we measure, which in and of itself is an achievement to be celebrated. Our challenge to you now is to continue learning, continue practicing, and continue striving to become a masterful detention officer, because this is the expectation of your agency and your community. Director Bain, I recommend the awarding of certificates for successful completion for the Wyoming P.O.S.T approved 310-hour Detention Officer Basic Course 24A 106. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to present the certificates, please feel free to come down, take pictures. We have all day. From the Sheridan County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Dylan Buckmeyer. We have several special presenters with us here today. These are people who are the family of graduates who they themselves are either current or former law enforcement. Our first special presenter is a U.S. Marine Corps veteran who also served with the Missouri Highway Patrol for 5 years and the Lenexa, Kansas Police Department for 15 years, where he specialized in drug interdiction and DUI enforcement. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome retired officer Dan Sesley. And from the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Hunter Delano. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Michael Dolson. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Caden Diamond. From the Teton County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Brian Gardner. From the Natrona County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Herschel Graybill. Our next special presenter served with the Laramie County Sheriff's Office and the Cheyenne Police Department for 27 years. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome retired officer Alex Gutierrez. And from the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Sean Gutierrez. Our next special presenter is a U.S. Army veteran and has served with Teton County Sheriff's Office for 8 years. He was a SWAT operator as well as a former WLA honor graduate. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome Deputy Kevin Hill. And from the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Patrick Hill. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Connor Hoxie. From the Washakie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Nicholas Konkowski. Our next special presenter served with the Wyoming Department of Corrections and the Carbon County Sheriff's Office as a communication officer for 5 years. Here to present her son's certificate, please help me welcome Communication Officer Callie Langdon. And from the Carbon County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Brandon Langdon. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Dylan Lookingbill. Our next special presenter served with the Dallas, Texas Police Department for 3 years, and then the Riverton Police Department for 23 years, including 6 as Chief of Police. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome retired Chief Eric Murphy. From the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Taylor Murphy. Our next special presenter has served 20 years with the Powell Police Department. Here to present his son's certificate, please help me welcome retired Officer Kevin Schmidt. And from the Park County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Kyler Schmidt. From the Campbell County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Brady Tompkins. From the Laramie County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Andrew Treat. From the Albany County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Alex Wahab. From the Carbon County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Samuel Warren. Our next special presenter has served with the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office for 2 years and is a former graduate of the Wyoming Law Enforcement Academy. Here to present his sister-in-law certificate, please help me welcome Deputy Nathan Olson. And from the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Susan White. Our final special presenter served with the Phillips County, Colorado Sheriff's Office for 4 years and the Uena County Sheriff's Office for 4 years as a communications officer and is a 2013 graduate of WLEA. Here to present her husband's certificate, please help me welcome Communications Officer Don Worley. And from the Uena County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Michael Worley.
We'll let everybody get seated here. Thank you. All right, before I begin my final remarks, I need to take a moment to recognize a member of our instructional staff who is attending his last basic class graduation because he's going to retire on February 29th. Training Manager Kurt Taboga began working at the Academy November 2009 after serving 28 years with the East Norrington Pennsylvania Township Police Department. Kurt served in multiple roles and assignments here at the Academy, including PT Program Lead, Firearms Program Lead, Patrol Exercises Lead, and the last 3 years spent as our Training Manager. Kurt's extensive law enforcement leadership experience has been a blessing to us here at the Academy, and he will be sorely missed. I checked the data earlier this week. Just in Peace Officer Basic and Detention Officer Basic, we have a number of other classes and things taken, but just in those two basic classes, Kurt has trained 2,226 law enforcement basic students. Please join me in thanking Kurt for his incredible contribution to Wyoming law enforcement, and we wish him success in his future endeavors. don't know about you, but I think that's an incredible legacy to leave. All right. Earlier this morning, when our instructional staff shared final words of wisdom to our graduates, I told them that I would withhold my comments until later. I always enjoy a much bigger audience. Words mean everything to us in law enforcement. For example, the difference between may and shall has significant meaning in statutes. Merely changing the word or to and within a sentence dramatically impacts the elements of a crime. Specific words such as high morals, solid character, unwavering integrity are often used to describe the requirements of detention officers in both their professional and personal lives. But isn't it ironic that these words that describe critical elements, being a detention officer, are not really taught here at the Academy? We've taught you skills, processes, laws, and procedures. We cannot, however, teach you morality. We cannot teach you integrity. We cannot teach honesty or ethical character. We've certainly done our best to show you their importance and discuss the tragic consequences when they are lacking. But ultimately, the values you possess are those that you brought with you the very first day of training. I encourage you to expand as much effort maintaining your character as you did learning the skills taught here at the Academy. Law enforcement is constantly under the public's watchful eye, and rightly so, mainly due to the ethical lapses of but a few officers. I think Abigail Van Buren had detention officers in mind when she said, "The best index to a person's character is how they treat people who can't do them any good, and how they treat people who can't fight back." When one officer chooses a path of negative actions or behaviors, that choice often affects all of us. That poor choice may tarnish the badge many have worked so hard to hold true. So as a public affirmation of your personal commitment to uphold the high standards required of our law enforcement profession, in a few minutes I will ask them to swear to the law enforcement oath of honor. I'm going to also invite the sworn law enforcement officers in audience today to voluntarily participate together, you as Wyoming's veteran officers with the state's newest detention officers, to seal our commitment in front of witnesses to perform our jobs ethically, honorably, and with integrity. Veteran officers, those who wish to reaffirm your oath of honor, I would invite you to please stand. Class, please stand. To affirm your oath, I want you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, nor the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our own actions. I will always uphold the Constitution and the community I serve. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to announce to you the graduates of Detention Officer Basic 24A 106. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. Thank you for coming. Please have a safe trip home. There are refreshments in our cafeteria. We invite you to please stop by and partake. God bless. Thank you.